I wiped my tears before they could trace their way to my chin, but somehow that only seemed to make it worse. She turned to Judge as if I didn't even exist, her hands resting delicately on her knee, her lips curling into that practiced smirk I once naively mistook for charm. "A father who cries this much can't raise a child," she declared, leaning forward as though she were offering the court some pearl of wisdom. "My daughter needs someone calm. Someone like me." I sat there, breath shallow, heart fracturing with each word. How did she twist my love, my endless, tireless love, into weakness? The courtroom held its breath. Lawyers shifted in their seats, adjusting ties and glancing sideways. The judge sat still, his gavel silent. Then, without a word, my daughter rose. Slowly, deliberately, she rolled up her sleeve and extended her arm. "Look at this," she whispered. The room plunged into a thick, suffocating silence, the kind that presses against your ears like high altitude, like the air itself refuses to move. The judge froze. My entire world, for years pretending to be fair, finally dropped its mask. There's a certain kind of man who learns to cry in private. I was that man. I wept behind car doors, in locked laundry rooms, while scrubbing dishes until my knuckles split. I told myself that tears were nothing but pressure valves. You release them so you can keep going. You survive for the child who once nestled into the crook of your arm at night, whispering softly, "Daddy, your hugs fix everything." I paid the bills. I drove through the night for emergency room visits. I split my own meals to make sure she never knew what hunger felt like. When her mother left, I whispered to myself that maybe, just maybe, it was better this way. Better to raise love in a house with holes than raise fear in a house built of marble. But I didn't see it then, the rot that festered behind her mother's eyes. I didn't understand how control could wear the mask of composure, how coldness could be dressed up as competence. The courts, they favor calm. I learned too late that calm is easily mistaken for cruelty dressed in silk. She filed for full custody with a pleasant smile, called me emotionally unstable, and paraded her evidence. Screenshots of desperate texts I sent at 2 a.m., pleading with her to stop manipulating our daughter. Emails where I confess in broken sentences, "You're destroying her." And she sat there, so composed, so maternal. They believed her. Of course they did. I didn't fight back at first. What was I supposed to say? That a man who cries deserves his child? That grief is proof of love? No. So I sat there and I watched. And I waited. And I documented. Every missed school pickup. Every forgotten lunch. Every whispered call from the school bathroom. "Daddy, can you come get me?" I took a second job working nights. Saved every penny. Enrolled in paralegal courses online. I studied the law. I studied her patterns. And while she crafted her perfect Instagram life, the brunches, the stage smiles, I quietly built my case, not with fury, but with cold, relentless facts. 3 years. 3 years of silence. 3 years of sacrifice. I never cried in court again. Not once. But my daughter, my brave, beautiful daughter, she found a different kind of courage. The bruise on her arm was old, but unmistakable. A faint, thumbprint-shaped mark. The judge leaned in, squinting. My daughter's voice was soft, but every word cut like shattered glass. She grabbed me because I said I missed Dad. Her mother's face drained of its color. Her practiced calm slipping like a mask coming loose at the edges. I didn't look at her. I looked at the judge, the same man who had once nodded as she turned my heartbreak into ammunition. And I saw it. The shift, the recalculation, the beginning of the end. An investigation followed. Quiet, methodical, thorough. They found the late-night bar visits. The police report from that one night with her boyfriend. The school counselor's notes. The one she never even knew existed. The bank records showing child support funneled into vacations and luxury while our daughter sat alone. She never saw it coming. That's the flaw with people like her. They mistake silence for surrender. But I wasn't silent. I was waiting. The judge reversed the custody order. He didn't even glance at her as he signed the papers. She asked to speak privately, her voice laced with sudden desperation. She said perhaps we could work something out, that our daughter needed both parents. I looked her in the eye and told her gently, she already has both parents. Only one of us chose to be present. Then I walked out, my daughter's hand wrapped tightly in mine. Once upon a time, she clung to me because she believed my hugs could fix anything. Now, she held my hand like a sword, a weapon she'd wielded in that silent courtroom battle. That night, she fell asleep beside me on the couch, just like she used to when she was 6. Back then, she would clutch a stuffed elephant. Now, she held my old hoodie to her chest like armor. I watched her breathe as the room dimmed around us, and the tears came again. But this time, I didn't hide them. People think revenge is fire, loud, explosive, blinding. They're wrong. Real revenge is a tide, slow, quiet, unstoppable. By the time it reaches your feet, it's already too late. I didn't need to destroy her. I only needed to survive her. And I did, with patience, with love, and with a daughter who now knows the difference between calm and care.